Well, welcome back to the You Amaze Me recording with myself, Amanda Baker. Welcome to this space where story meets soul and soul meets story. And I am here today with our guest, Andrew Spirit. He comes to us as a psychic medium, spiritual development teacher, and intuitive Reiki healer. He has the abilities to help others, support with closure, moving forward, and ultimate healing. He has a published book called Simply Spirit, which is available online, and I'll make sure to include a link to that at the end. And I'm really excited just to hear more, Andrew, about what you do and how you got into this type of work. So, welcome to this space and feel free to share what's ever coming up for you right now.
Thanks, Amanda. So this is not something I was really looking for or would have chosen for myself. I usually find that things like this find you. And it started off with I had a very, very unsettled, busy mind. I couldn't get a handle on it. So I joined a meditation circle, just thinking once I learned how to meditate, my thoughts would be calm and I'd be good, and that would be the end of it. So I joined the circle, and I got to say I was one of the slowest people to learn how to meditate. It took me months and months. Finally got that figured out. And then the organization that was doing the meditation also offered spiritual development classes. So 3 years running from September till May, 3 years. So I decided, okay, let's sign up and join. And the first year was spiritual development, learning how to work with auras, seeing auras, energy, guides, basic forms of spirit, learning all about that. So I did that. Second year, we moved on to natural laws, studying the natural laws of the universe, the most famous, well-known being law of attraction as an example. And then the last year was mediumship, so learning basic mediumship, pairing up with fellow students in the group and trying to read each other's energy and giving each other feedback and just receiving validation, confirmation of how accurate or inaccurate we were. So I did that for a few years, and people started giving me feedback that was accurate. And they were telling me, look, I know what this means. That's right. This is that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to realize, okay, I'm not just imagining it. It's not just makeup, believe. This is some things going here. It's actually accurate and it's working. So eventually, my mentor's daughter, she was a third generation medium, called me aside and said, when are you going to start doing readings for people? And I said, well, I can't do that. I'm not a medium. So the face just dropped because she knew exactly, I was under the impression you were either born that way or you were not. You're either born switched on as a medium
Mm-hmm.
or you're a normal person. You couldn't develop it, but I
Okay.
was proven very, very much wrong. Anybody can have their what I call awakening moment. So it can happen to you when you're a kid, a teenager, a senior. At some point, you just kind of, the soul gets ready and it wakes up, so to speak, and you just start tuning into the unseen realm. And for me, it happened late in life. I joined the meditation circle at the age of 35. And up until then, I grew up Catholic, so it was very black and white, quite
Yes.
religious, didn't believe in reincarnation. That was a big no-no. So I call myself a late bloomer. Other people have had it since childhood or teens. So with me, it developed gradually. Every person's
Mm-hmm.
different. You can wake up one day, be normal, and the next day you wake up, you can be like full blown, wide open, switched on and connected. Every single person's journey is different. For me, fortunately, it was gradual, so I had time to kind of adjust, come out the closet eventually. So I developed slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I practiced it and the better I got, the more I started to like it. And then eventually I decided, look, I'm just going to do this. This is what makes me happy. And I started doing readings for people. And that's pretty much what I do. It's 90% of what I do now is mainly this work, mediumship. I now do intuitive Reiki as well. I also learned energy healing. So I do intuitive Reiki. I don't do a lot of it, but I do offer it, but most of my requests are for readings.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
psychic mediumship
Really
readings,
cool.
and I also teach. I teach spiritual development classes, and I do one-on-one mentoring. So I can help people that have similar gifts, um, similar clairs, abilities, and I can help them basically understand why they have them, validate that there's nothing wrong with them. They don't have mental health issues. They're just tapping into ESP. They have extra abilities, and it's a good thing. So I can help people develop that and understand why they see and sense what they do. Um, so I
It's
love to
fascinating.
teach.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love to teach this stuff. It's like a huge rabbit hole that you will never get to the bottom of. It's just such a huge area. Every medium is different. Some have all the clairs, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairaudience, clear smelling, clear tasting. Some have a couple. Some see spirit, or AKA dead people, with their physical eyes. Some see it in the mind's eye. Some feel more. It's so different amongst readers and mediums. Um, but it's fascinating. It's very enjoyable. And especially when you get to help someone either get closure with a deceased loved one or lose their fear over something. There's a lot of afraid people that see and sense things, and they think there's something wrong with them. They have no one to talk to, so they just keep it to themselves, and they
Right.
think they're a
Right.
problem. So there's a lot of that, unfortunately. They just don't have someone to connect with that knows exactly what they're going through and what they're talking about.
Mm. Yeah. To help people
Yeah.
be less afraid or feel less alone, for those who might be starting to have some like signs or sense that they're connected to something greater than themselves, or just is from my experience having people share like some sort of knowing about themselves of, oh, I'm different, or I thought I knew that before that happened, or I could sense this about this person, like just like an inner kind of connection that they sometimes will ignore or avoid because it's not so well accepted. Well, I also hear you say for yourself and being a late bloomer of maybe not having so much of any sense or connection to, hey, I can do this. I have these abilities, that you were more so going into this to quiet or calm or help kind of focus your mind. And the way that meditation kind of led you into this curiosity about other things, and to then have someone almost confront you with, hey, you have this ability too. Are you going to move forward, to tap into it, to sharpen it, to enhance it? And then from what I hear you say so far is that you came to really enjoy it, and it's become now more of your fulfillment, your offerings to others, not just something for yourself, but something that you can offer to others, whether through a reading, but also in teaching and supporting someone in their own growth with that.
Yeah. So no matter what it is, if you do what you love, you're really gonna blossom. Doesn't mean you're gonna be a millionaire or anything like that, but if you follow your calling, your
Hmm.
passion, you're gonna be happy in life. You're gonna be content. When I was studying those 3 years of development, there were people in my group that were faster than me, more tuned in, more accurate, but they had more fear. They were not comfortable standing on a platform in front of people, coming out with it. And I saw some of them back away and shut down and just not pursue it. And they had the ability. So fear is a huge stumbling block. People want to be mainstream. They want to fit in with the crowd. They don't want to be unusual, and that can hold you back. But then it keeps you stuck in activities, jobs, routines that make you unhappy. So you just got to be authentic and come out with it and be however crazy or weird or quirky you seem to be. You just got to be that, and you will be happy. You'll feel like you're wearing the right pair of shoes. Something will
Hmm.
fit.
It'll fit.
Um, there's a lot of people that have the ability, but we all have free will choice. So
Right.
spirit will never force you to do anything. They'll just say, here's what we would like for you. This is what your gifts are. here you go. We encourage you to do this, but this is the planet of free will choice. So some people choose not to. They just stay stuck in their ways, but that's suffering, in my
Mm.
opinion.
I hear that, and I think others will say similarly or are in their suffering and they want out, and they might have heard these things before. Be your authentic self, be more vulnerable, let yourself be known and seen, and take the mask off. And there can be this huge block of fear in the mind and fear in the body. And one way of softening that fear, I believe, is to notice it and to name it, to have people, community, a support person that is there with them who's been through it, right? So linking up like with a teacher or someone within that kind of development space. And also what you said before of do what you love. So if there is fear of, jumping into like the bigger thing of whether it's mediumship or some type of career that someone might want, if you even start small of like, well, what is something that I love? If I love knitting, if I love dancing, if I love traveling, it's almost like stepping into those things then will start to allow one to be more of themselves. So your interest, I'm not going to put words in your mouth to say that you loved meditation, but your interest, even your curiosity and interest in meditation, became kind of that catalyst or vessel into these greater gifts that you have. Hmm.
When you said curiosity, it reminded me. My curiosity actually, I think, saved me and kept me going. Because when I was at school, I would always keep my mouth shut. I didn't want to ask the dumb questions. So I just kept quiet. And that really handicapped me a lot. When I joined the circle, I was always the one opening my mouth, asking all the questions in the group. Everybody would look at me. I'd have all these questions. And this would go on for months and months until one day I just ran dry. I'd asked so much information that came to question time, and everyone looks at me and I was like, no, I'm good. I have nothing. It was dead quiet. No one had questions because they were so used to me always opening up and just asking
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So my curiosity got me where I am today. It helped. So
Beautiful.
you can't withhold. You just got to spit it out, learn. You may look silly, but someone else taught me that the only silly question is the one you don't ask.
I've heard that too. Yes, I've heard that too.
So if you don't ask, you don't know. And I've learned from, I used to be a very, very different person. By talking and asking, I've just learned a huge amount of information and things. It's just like it's a gift. Uh, and if you, like with me, you don't have to sort of cold turkey quit your job tomorrow and jump into it
Right.
and just, you can do it gradually. And I did that gradually. I did it very part-time. I was in the closet. I used to call myself a closet medium. I was, quiet about it. I started doing it slowly on the side. Yes, it did drag out and take longer, but it was safer for me. That's how I
Is it?
handled
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I moved to a different city and I was like, well, I don't have a job. Let's just do this because I like it and see how it goes. You struggle on and then eventually it works out. And then your life kind of fits around your new role, your new persona. And then I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
came into the world with nothing. When you leave, you're going to go with even less. You don't even take the body with you. When you leave, you're taking nothing with you. So if you're worried about, people tend to spend so much time in the future. Will I have enough for my medication when I'm a senior? Will I have enough for this? Will my house be paid? It's important, but it's not the most important thing. You're here to live and not survive. Most people are in what I call survival mode. They just exist. And hopefully they save enough money so when they're old, they assume they're already going to be needing medication and need to live near a hospital. I have friends like this. They want to make sure they live near a hospital for when they're old. You're already thinking that.
Of thinking
What are
about
you
the
doing?
end. Uh-huh. Yes. And
You got to
missing the
live for
now.
now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be present. Sure, you put a few pennies away for tomorrow, but it shouldn't control your behavior and your choices. You gotta live and not survive. None of us is getting out of here alive, physically speaking, so you may as well enjoy life.
Love that
That's the way I look at
mentality. Yes, and thank you
it. You know?
for sharing and sharing your story as that gets to be or your path. so far, how you've got to be where you are as a model for others who so many, like you say, are really just in that revolving cycle of survival mode. It's like, how can I just get through the day? And it's this focus on food, water, shelter, money, and they're exhausted. When you're in that survival mode, it's you're using so much more of your energy that then very little is left for the vitality of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to come back to the maybe that bigger picture or that vision, even if that vision is small, of just envisioning feeling more feeling more energized day to day, or going back to engaging in something that you love, or a dream that you had as a child that maybe others dismissed and said, no, that's not possible. You can't make a living off of doing that. And then it just kind of squashes that creativity. It squashes those dreams. So to come back to like, we only live this version of in this form, in this physical body, this one time. There's that quote by a poet that says, what are you going to do with your one precious life? And it sounds like even just seeing the facial expression from you, that your life sounds more fulfilling in what you're doing now.
Oh yeah, like I spent too many years not being happy, and eventually I got sick of it. It's like, this is not life. Eventually something not snapped, but I was like, this is enough. And then I started looking in unusual places like mediums and meditation that normally I wouldn't have gone near that. Um, and it takes a lot of trust. Nobody is guaranteed of anything. I'm not entitled. Life doesn't owe me. You roll with what you get. So everyone's life path is different, but you've got to just be authentic. There's some beautiful sayings. The first one, as you were talking, reminded me of a Buddhist saying. It's, if not now, when? So if you don't do what you're feeling passionate about and you're putting it off, when do you think you're going to get to it? And are you sure you're going to be here 10 years, 20 years, 30? We don't know. No one knows. So it's, if not now, when are you going to do it? And there's another one. It's actually on my website, Pablo Picasso. It's the meaning of life is to find your gifts, and the purpose of life is to give them away. So we are here
Love
to be
that.
of service in some way or another. We got to
Yes.
find what our gifts are, and then when we have them, we got to use them the right way. And a lot of people just don't get to that. They're on the hamster wheel: eat, sleep,
Mm-hmm.
work, repeat.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
like more of that's a dying. That's not a living.
I agree. I
So
agree.
I just like to encourage people, just follow your passion and don't care what other people say or think. They're not in your shoes, and they will never be able to understand your path because they're not in it. They're living their life. So you just got to do you, you know?
Yeah, I am curious. Where are you located?
So I now live in Eastern Ontario. I'm about 1 hour south of Ottawa. I can actually see New York State from across the seaway. The St. Lawrence River is
Okay.
between New York State and Eastern Ontario. I live in a little city called Brockville,
Mm-hmm.
population about 22,000. So when I go down to the river, uh, I like to kayak. I can kayak across or literally see New York State on the other side. It's more or less in line with, I think it's called Morristown.
Mm-hmm.
And the nearest bridge to the
In
US
New
is
York.
maybe 10, 12 minutes from where I live. I'm pretty close to the States, yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. That's so cool that you can see it, and just like you said, beyond the water.
Yeah,
Not too far from where I am here well, I'm not in New York, but in the US, and I'm on the East Coast. Yeah,
okay,
I'm about three and a half hours from New York City.
okay.
Yeah. And so do you mind sharing, what did you do professionally then before 35? What were you doing before this?
Okay, so I had a bit of a checkered past with jobs. I tried a number of things. I did um, insurance claims, handling personal lines, including insurance claims like theft, loss, home
Mm,
invasion, or home burglaries. Did that for a few years. I tried real estate for a year. This was all in South Africa. I was born and raised in South Africa.
okay.
So I did some insurance and real
Yeah.
estate there, and then around 28 years old, I moved to Canada.
Hmm.
And there I did legal administration for 9 years roughly. So I was inside a huge tall building in the interior, no
Yeah.
windows. In
Oh,
winter, never saw the sun. It was, I commuted. I spent 3 hours a day commuting to and from work. I hated that.
it
Did that
sounds
for
that
a
way.
long time.
Hmm.
Then my last job was shipping and receiving. I worked for a boutique firm. Most of my jobs were administrative, so there was more women to men. There was very few men doing these administrative roles. And I thought, one day I want to get a job where I can wear jeans and casual wear and just work with guys because I hated wearing dress shirts and dress clothes.
Hmm.
And so I found a job eventually close to home. I did shipping and receiving, a boutique firm, aftermarket products for BMWs, guys that want to pimp up their ride and look flashy.
Uh-huh.
I would ship and fulfill their orders. So I did that for maybe 6 years. And it was all right, but it was just a job, getting the paycheck, go home, pay the bills. Eventually, I got sick of it like all the other jobs. I never found a job that was fulfilling long enough. I always got bored or dissatisfied. So I was more like doing it robotically, repetitively. And at that time, I was already doing my mediumship on the side, and then got sick of the city I was living in. It was big and busy, and it was just getting bigger and bigger. And I wanted a small city feel with a slow pace, small town feel. So I moved 2.5 hours east, and obviously had to give up my job. And I thought, well, okay, let's give it a go.
Hmm.
Mediumship, let's do it and see how it went. And during that time, I only had to work part-time for a year, just mornings only, just to kind of tide me over and keep me going because the mediumship work is very unpredictable. You have slower seasons, busy seasons. You never know what's coming in. And that last job, it was only for a year part-time at a long-term care facility. That kind of tied me over. And then after that, I've never worked again since. Like my job is, I don't call it work. I do get drained
Same.
occasionally energetically, but it's not work to me.
I get it. Hmm. Hmm. It's
And
such a
I've been doing that.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for a while. And then 5 years ago, I just took on another, well, it's called a job, but I don't consider it a job. I do it for fun. I work 1 hour a day at a elementary school.
Okay.
All I do is supervise kindergarten and grade ones with their lunch and yard duty. I just do it because I was drawn to their energy. I knew
Mm-hmm.
the previous principal. I went there, said, "Do you need some help?" I didn't even ask if they paid. They do pay me the hour, but I wasn't even interested. So I get to hang out with the energy of kindergartners and grade ones for an
Sweet.
hour a day.
That's so
Absolutely
sweet.
love it. And their energy, it's like I get a recharge. So when I'm there, their energy gives me something too. It's just fun. I just do it for pleasure. So
That's
that's
great.
not really a work either. And so this is all I do now. And I just ride the wave and whatever comes in, comes in. And when it's quiet, I spend time with like-minded friends. I've got a great spiritual community in my area. Um, I'm also learning guitar because it's something I've wanted to do and just didn't bother. I
Amazing.
could have had,
Hmm.
my mother was a music teacher. I could have scored free lessons from a kid. And at that time, didn't appreciate it. I thought, no,
Sure.
guitar is one of the most challenging instruments to ever learn. I got to tell you, it's not easy.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
now I'm doing that. So I'm finding time to do what I love to do.
Yes,
So
what you
now
love
I'm
to do.
living.
Right, and that's true, and that's truly living. So much of even our culture is to work to live, or and it's like that same quote of like find your gifts and to give them away is to live to work, but it's not work. It's right. It's like to live to share, to live
Yeah,
to offer, to
yeah,
feel alive within yourself, and of course, then be able to have an income that supports just the sustainability of our life here and the way that our societies are structured. Uh, and you've been able to do it without it sounds like forcing without forcing, without trying so hard. It's effort, of course, like the dedication that you did to learning and to enhancing your skill set, where we have more of the drive, the determination, the devotion to those things when they align and they're fulfilling.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, and like I said, it's to me, it's not work. I love being exhausted from doing readings. I don't mind that. I find I often get a boost or a charge. So I'm fine when I'm slower and less busy. I don't feel as good and as happy when there's more when I'm doing more readings and events. I love doing psychic fairs and other public events as well.
Cool. Really
It gives me
cool.
a boost. I absolutely love
Yeah.
it. Like I get charged up. And I don't care how long it goes, or like I had an event recently, we were supposed to read from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. and it was so busy, we didn't expect it to be that well attended.
Mm.
I read from 10, I was doing 30-minute readings. I did 13 in a row, back to back. I didn't get a chance to eat my lunch. It was just flat out.
Yeah.
A couple of people left because I couldn't get to them. No time.
Mm.
I was one of the last people to leave the establishment. It was like I was wiped, but I absolutely thoroughly loved
Gosh.
it.
And that's so,
Um,
yeah, that's so telling.
yeah.
That really
And
is.
this line of work is there's no guarantees. I don't have a company pension. I don't have guarantees,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
my life just kind of, when you do what you're supposed to do, things kind of work themselves. They work their way around what you do. Things sort of fit together. Um, like I said, I have my needs met. I'm taken care of. I never know what's coming, but I'm used to it and I'm comfortable with it. Feels almost good. It's not predictable. I don't know what's coming tomorrow, next day. And I'm good with that.
Yes. And
So,
I believe that's what security and trust are. They're not,
yeah,
everything on the external is evidence that this is all going to work out. It's that trust and security that's an internal feeling, and then, like you say, things kind of end up working around in that shape to fit. An opportunity comes up, or uh, something gets completed that you didn't even have to worry about. When we allow and we open and we take that risk, but have that trust and belief that you're provided for, that there's safety and security within.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, there's always going to be waves. It's like the particle in a wave. There's ups and downs. You're not going to
Yes,
be on a high all the time.
right.
And what comes down doesn't stay down. You will go up again. So if you can learn to ride with the waves of life, it's like the seasons, winter, summer, they don't force, animals don't force nature. They just go with nature. Animals don't have ego. They just do what they're designed to
Mhm.
do. A bee will only be a bee. A tree can only do what a tree does. There's no resistance. There's no ego. There's no stress. It's just acceptance. So, I mean, I've known people, for example, the law firm I worked in, there was someone who had spent his entire life working long, long, long hours, very successful lawyer. Finally, he retired, and his wife and the dog were at home, living at home while he was at work. And all of a sudden, he was the intruder in the house. He was home all day.
Mhm.
And this was not the norm for her. And they were seniors.
Uh-huh.
And then a few months later, he slipped and fell. He had a fall and
Oh my
passed away
goodness.
from it. He died.
Oh,
So all that work and
all
all his
that.
money went to someone else.
Mm.
That was his life. He worked. So you don't know. You
You
just
don't
don't know.
know. And then, right, we think, oh, when we retire, personally, like my dad, who worked all of his life, retired at 65, and then developed horrible back pain right after. So it's like, oh, here's your retirement where you can go and do whatever you want. And it disrupted a planned travel event and vacation, and then needed to get all this treatment and physical therapy. I think, our body also holds that trauma or not alignment of of if you're doing something that's so monotonous, or like you said, like working somewhere and there's no window and you don't even get the sunlight, and you're traveling all day 3 hours just to get to and from work. You're
Yeah.
missing life, really
Yeah.
missing out. Hmm.
You just hit another point there. Your health is your wealth. If that goes beyond a certain point, you may not get it back.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so you'll find if someone becomes very, very ill, all the other problems disappear. They only have one big problem. So your health, you should treat your health as like your heart organ or something that you cannot do without. Even with doing mediumship, if I'm physically off or sick or suffering, it makes it almost impossible to do readings or let alone even just meditate. So it may be the least important of your bodies, but it's important.
It's
If you're
important.
physically off, it's going to impact your mental body, your emotional body, your
All related. Yes.
spiritual body. It all connects.
Yes, I
Yep.
agree. Yeah. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. I don't know if you've done this before during recordings like this, but are you open to doing some sort of reading on me? It doesn't have to be mediumship, but if it's aura, energy, this is kind of we can see you in action.
Sure, absolutely. Yep. Okay. What I usually just do is I ask if anything or what spirit wants to share about you. I connect with loved ones. Sometimes it's one of your spirit guides. Occasionally it's angels. Sometimes your aura energy gives me directly talks to me. So there's no mediumship. That's more psychic. I just feel and sense your energy, your aura. So I just put the request out and see what they're offering me. So I will just tune
Sounds
in
good.
and take a moment and see what they would like to share. Okay. Okay. So right now I'm tapping in, I'm sort of seeing your chakras
Mm-hmm.
from head to toe. Your chakras are in color. I'm going to assume you have some regular form of practice, whether it's meditation or some sort of energetic practice you do. I'm
Yes.
going to go with this. The reason I'm saying that is because your auras are very, when I say very well lit up, they're in very good shape. The color, usually when they're light and pastel and clear and bright, it's a very good indication they're in good shape. When the colors are mottled or thick or murky, something is off or stuck there. You don't have any of that.
Great.
All your chakras are well lit and they're light and they're bright and colorful.
Mm.
One that stands out most is the green, the heart chakra. And as that, they actually giving me, sometimes they give me like a little bit of an imagery. They're showing the heart chakra, which is in the center, right beside the actual organ of the heart. It
Mm-hmm.
moves upward towards your third eye.
Ah.
And what Spirit is saying with that is you seem to be someone that thinks, acts, and responds from the heart center more than anything else, which means you're very tuned into, and that's the most ideal. That's what you want to do. A
Mm.
lot of people
Oh,
go straight
lovely.
from left brain, right? Left
Yeah.
brain, and as soon as you get into left brain, ego, logic is like analyzes what's in it for me first. Is it safe? Do I like it? And if it doesn't, ego will try and kill the idea. So you actually want to respond from heart center as much as you possibly can. And this is something that I feel you already do.
Mm-hmm.
You've
Mm-hmm.
had practice, and that is ideally what you want. Versus being the opposite, letting your left brain dictate your answers. Usually, the very first impression or sense comes from spirit or higher self. And within a split second after, your ego jumps in and wants to analyze and make sure everything is to its
Yep.
liking. So your heart center is telling me that's where you act and respond from, and it's perfect, and that's the way it should be.
Oh, I love that.
Uh, so it's all good. The colors are great. They're bright, they're light, they're airy. You don't seem to have any problem grounding or connecting in your own way to the God of your understanding or source. So your auras look like they're in really, really great shape.
Mm. Thank you.
Uh, Sometimes I'll get like I see things in my third eye or my mind's eye, and I get a lot of visuals. So I'm seeing like it's kind of like your auric field. It's kind of starts at the shoulder line and goes around the head and shoulders, and it's actually the color of sunshine. I'm getting two impressions with that. Either it's just the semi-transparent haze of your aura I'm seeing. It could also be relating to actual sunlight, as in getting enough sun or spending enough time in the sunlight.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Looks like you do. feels like you do, but I'm seeing a lot of sun, and sunshine is like it's literally like in Superman, he feeds off the yellow sun is his power. We're pretty much the same thing. Sunshine is like our vitality. The more sunshine you get, it's very, very healthy and charging for you. And it looks like you're getting enough of that too. Because I'm seeing sunshine literally glowing around the head and shoulders.
Wow. That well, that resonates a lot in multiple ways. I do try to walk outside daily. I mean, we're in winter, so it's been somewhat cold and gray, so I haven't had as much. Today's sunny. I plan to go out, and I got to go out yesterday. So I've been, and I in the spring, fall, summer, I like try to get 10,000 steps every day. I love being outside in nature, and so that's fitting for getting the sunlight. Also, though, this weekend I was involved with a group, and something that came up during like the group ritual and ceremony was, and this line has repeated throughout the past like 2 years, and I kind of lost touch with this statement that I haven't said to myself in maybe a couple months, but it was something I was saying to myself a lot was, I am the light of 1,000 suns, or I am the light of 1,000,000 suns. So this weekend was, I am a light of 1,000,000. I kind of moved from the 1,000 to the million, and the color yellow was very, very apparent throughout the practice, in sort of the meditative kind of state that I was in. So look at that.
Okay. As I'm seeing, it's as if you were standing outside and the sun would be behind your back, and it's literally glowing on your neck and your head, back of your head, and around your aura, because it actually looks like sunshine.
I've had another psychic reading where someone said the same thing. They said that they saw the sun just like glowing constantly behind me.
Yeah. One other thing that just came is
Yes.
to tell you that right now, what you're doing, your routine, your practices, the way you're living, right now you're very, very much on track, and it seems like it's should be status quo. Just continue doing what you're doing.
Continue.
Nothing needs to change or deviate. You're in like a sweet spot
Mm-hmm.
where things are flowing, and you don't need to change or tweak anything, even if it seems almost repetitive, but it's in a good way. So
Okay.
the space you're in now is perfect, and it should continue that way for a while.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. And to share with the listeners, because it's taken me a long time to get here, where I have these more routines or ritualistic practices that do ground me and also connect me, because often in past like chakra readings, they have been imbalanced, where I can be very connected and kind of almost though into like too airy or too dreamy, and that I'm not grounded, or I can be like so grounded and kind of disconnected. And I do feel like in the past several months, because of my consistency, so I do a breath practice every morning for about 11 minutes, and I listen to some sort of like frequency or subliminal messages, before I go to bed, as well as when I wake up in the morning. So I just pop in my headphones and I have it running back uh, while I'm getting ready for the in the morning, and then I listen to it when I go to sleep. And that's been really consistent. I journal, so writing in the morning. Also, I try to do it twice a day in the evening, as well as a meditation sometime in the
Oh,
middle of my day. So it's a
yeah,
lot, but it keeps me
it is.
um, consistent and connected, grounded below and above.
That's a lot. That's really, really good.
Hmm.
Really good.
Yes.
Well, it
And
shows, like it's showing in your
oh,
chakras, your anyway. So
thank
yeah.
you. Yes, and the appreciation that I have the time to do it. You know, in past jobs, similar to you, when I was working for agencies, uh, I didn't have the same amount of time or energy. Like I was too tired at night to do it, or I didn't want to get up earlier in the morning. And now I wake up earlier than I ever did, but simply I'm kind of waking up within my own natural rhythmic state to wake up and be like, okay, I want to journal now. I want to listen to this meditation, or do a little movement, go out and take a walk. Uh, it shows that when you are intentional to choose what you want to do within your life, and also have that courage to take the risk to let an old job go and to step into something that isn't maybe as secure, right? Like I don't have the same health insurance or the retirement constantly going in because I'm not working for that type of agency or company. I work for myself. And so, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Oh yeah, yeah. As you were talking, more was coming through. Like,
Oh, yeah.
uh, so what was it? First thing, nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you stay in your routine, thinking not now, I'm safe now, I'll do it another time, it won't change. Uh, what you what you predominantly think about or focus on will become your life. So if you want to make the change, you've got to implement steps. Break it down into baby steps if it's too overwhelming. It's no race, there's no deadline or finish line, but nothing changes unless you change something. You've got to start off small, make little changes. You don't have to have specific belief systems. There's no set one way of doing a ritual. You can make up your own rituals. Walk outside barefoot. If it's too cold, put your hands on a tree. That's grounding. Sound is one of the most powerful energies, healers in existence. So when you listen to music, pay attention to the type of music you listen to. Play frequencies in the background while you're in the house. A lot of people don't pay attention to the sounds they listen to. Are you listening to mainstream news? Are you listening to soft, soothing music? Sound is powerful. Sound vibration is extremely, extremely powerful. It can heal you or toxify you.
Yep.
So
Yes.
it seeps in subconsciously. So put the right sounds on when you're listening to things, whether it's binaural beats or 528 hertz or classical music or something good. It's all vibration that goes into you. You can't be aware of your thoughts 24/7. Try it.
Right.
No one, the ether is full of energy. We collect debris every day. So you have to ground. It's like a spiritual hygiene, I'll call it. You got to cleanse it off. It's like taking a shower or a bath. You got to clean off the energetic debris you pick up from other people. We're all connected.
Yes.
So you've
Yeah.
got to be mindful of that. You've got to put yourself first, your well-being first. No job is ever gonna, you're replaceable. If something goes wrong with you, the job will just get someone else to do what you do. You're like an appliance. This one's bust, we'll just plug someone else in. You've got to change. You have to be your priority.
Yes. And make yourself irreplaceable by doing something so unique, right? The job will replace you, but if you are showing up in your life as no one else can do this exact thing in this exact way like I can. There might be other mediums, psychics, for me, there might be other therapists, yoga instructors, people who do these podcasts or write poetry, but no one else does it in the exact way I do. And that was because I left places that were trying to mold me to do it their way or this
Yeah,
uniform way. So
yeah,
that makes you so valuable when you choose in that way that you know that you are irreplaceable.
yeah. And even if you're in spiritual work, too much of anything can be unhealthy. So don't burn out. We've all done it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do too much of it. Just as long as you're happy. Doesn't matter what you do. If you can find joy in something, do that. Whether you're flipping burger patties or holding a sign, free hugs on the corner of street corners. I know people who do that.
Yeah, I've heard that
It
too.
doesn't matter.
Love it.
If you feel happy, mission accomplished. You cannot measure happiness. You're not supposed to measure it. That brings me to mind to another saying.
Yes.
Eleanor Roosevelt said, what's it? Comparison is the thief of all joy.
Yep, I've heard that.
As soon as you
Yeah.
compare yourself or try and measure success, you're done. It's like people want to feel productive. I didn't feel productive today. I didn't do anything. Well, that's good. Maybe you weren't supposed to be productive today.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't measure it. So you got to go by feel. We got to trust the gut and the intuition. We're so trained to follow like it's like when you go to school, you get into the system and you get ingrained into everybody's got to learn the same way. Some people learn more with their hands, some with their mind. It's too mainstream. Not everybody fits that mold.
Exactly. Yes.
So if you just let yourself do what you love, you'll be happy. It
Yeah.
doesn't cost, you know.
Yes, I love it. Let yourself be your own shape. Mold yourself
Yeah,
in the way that you
yeah,
want to, and there will be others that want to mold in their own way near you or with you, around you. You'll find
yeah,
your people when you're willing to have the kind of beliefs and that mindset versus, oh, I'm alone. No one else understands me or this. And it's like, well, no, you got to open your thoughts to that as well, that there are other like-minded people, that you're not alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to trust life. Don't try and control it because we can't. We think we can, but you
Hmm.
cannot control life. Just go with it. It's a very, very short little journey on this planet. It really is.
Really is.
So you may as well enjoy it.
Yes. Enjoy and appreciate.
Yeah.
Appreciation. Yeah. So I have a group. It's called Alchemize, and we do different types of experiences. And so one of them was bringing in a medium to our group, and she read for it's like six of us, I think. So I'm curious because she shared that each medium receives their information from the other side differently. So I'm curious, how do you receive? How do you connect in that way?
Okay. So my two predominant strengths are clairvoyance, which is inner seeing or seeing in my mind's eye. So
Okay.
when I see
Hmm.
spirit, I don't see it with my physical eyes like some do. I get it internally. So I will see images of, say, a deceased person or a guide or even a spirit animal totem. I've even connected with elementals, if you're familiar with those, which are like elementals comprise gnomes, fairies, pixies,
Oh. Oh,
those
wow.
kind of
Okay.
creatures.
Cool.
It's less common, but I have connected with
Yeah.
those too. Spirit animal totems, a few other things that I don't even know what they are or what to call them. They're just very unusual looking creatures. Um, I've connected with deceased pets as well.
Mm.
So I'll see an image, or I like to say I use the word see or feel because it's all coming at me as energy, and I have to use the best vocabulary I can to explain what I'm
Right.
getting.
Yes. Yes.
So if it's a loved one, I'll see male, female, more or less a shape, a
Okay.
size. I might get a clear shot of either if they had big forearms or hands, or if they had broad shoulders, or if they say were a blue collar worker or drove truck, or I'll get certain little clues and things like that. Sometimes I feel ailments or things they may have passed away from, whether it was heart related or maybe abdominal cancer or
Mm.
something similar. Sometimes it's easier. Every reading's different. Some communications are clearer and easier. Some are a bit of a struggle where I can get a rough idea of where the sickness was or more or less their age. It can be tricky. On occasion, not always, but on occasion, I've even been given first names. Uh, but it's so random that whoever I connect with will do their best to give me clues so I can pass on to the loved
Clues.
one.
Hmm.
This is what I'm getting. One of them's got to really hit home, or a few of them will hit home, and they'll say, "Yeah, okay, I know who you're talking about." But it's not black and white, clear cut. So if
That's what she says too. Hmm.
if someone's looking at a photograph and I'm describing, I won't get the exact image of the person in the photo, but I will get whether they had thinning hair or if it was darker or lighter or if they had a tanned complexion. It kind of gets so when you're getting a reading, I like to advise people don't be too black and white because
Hmm.
you might say the medium might get say 4 out of 5, where you say, oh, and I've done this where I've said it looks like they had fairer hair. Meanwhile, I was confusing it. They had such a bright glow or aura around the head. I mistook it for their hair color.
I
Sometimes I'm
see.
bang on right, but if you're
Yeah.
too, oh no, he wore this shirt or he had black hair versus light hair, don't let that throw you. Let their medium give all the little points and features and images they're getting. And if it's like 8 out of 10, they've probably got the right person. So I usually like to ask, okay, could you tell me how you passed away? Or give me a visual so I can kind of get an idea of more or less your age range. You stocky, heavier set? Were you skinny? Did you have any unusual markings on your body? Things like that. So that's the clairvoyance part. My other strength is claircognizance, which is inner knowing or clear knowing. Information just arrives or happens to be in my mind and I say it, but I'm not sure when it got there, how it got there. I just know. So I would just say it,
Gotcha.
but I can't really say how I know it, just know.
I
So it's
love
just
that.
spirit channeling information. Some part of my mind or brain converts it to words and I just say it and it's like, yeah, okay, there it is.
Yes. Yeah. And I think the practice of that is, I was talking to somebody else who believes that they have that similar gift, and it's a like that fear of speaking it out loud, of like just whatever comes, say it. And even in myself, in practicing with a Reiki practitioner who showed me pictures and said, okay, tell me about this person in the picture, I noticed myself second guessing. Instead of saying what the first thing was, it was right there. I was like, oh, I'm too hesitant. And then I got it wrong because I didn't say the first thing. So yeah, it's that trust and letting the first thing come through. Mm-hmm.
Takes huge amount of trust. First impression is usually spirit. But if you hesitate or
Yeah.
like for in my case, I had a fear of being wrong, giving a
Yeah.
mistake.
I get that. Mm-hmm.
Because you'll notice with regular jobs, people are more than willing to accept mistakes. In this field, people are less tolerant of mistakes because they think it's not like you're going out and ordering a pair of shoes and you see them in the window and that's the shape, the size, the color, the style. That's what I'm getting. It's not the same when you
Mm-hmm.
get a reading. You don't know what you're going to get. So people can be not as forgiving if you make mistakes
If
with
we mess
readings,
up.
but
Mm-hmm.
you got to learn. So you got
Yep.
to put yourself out there. It's a lot of trust.
Yes.
The more you practice, the more you trust, the better. And you've just got to, like, I like to I have a ritual before I begin a reading. I have some affirmations. I call in my guide team, the archangels, the big guns. I send Andrew out to the St. Lawrence Seaway and I said, you got to stay out of there. You got to play in the river. You stay there. Left brain's got to be gone. Andrew cannot be in the
uh,
room. You have to be out because as soon as Andrew wants to be in on everything and wants to check. And it's like, no,
uh-huh.
no, I can't be here. So I have to, in a way, not be here and just allow it.
The channeling. Yes.
And then you've
Yeah.
got to be the other challenge is being comfortable with what you're receiving. Once in a while, you get something that's a little uncomfortable to share. And I've had that where it's like, no, I don't want to say that.
Mm,
That's
okay.
uncomfortable. It's not really pleasant. I don't want to do it. And then you fight against, your ego and spirit is like, no, I don't want to say it. But there's always a nice way of delivering it. You can deliver something that's maybe harsh or not harsh, but unpleasant or uncomfortable in a loving way.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So there are ways that you can share it. Spirit will only give you what they feel you need to share.
I'm
And
trusting that.
sometimes a person, depending on individuals, some individuals need to hear it with almost like a swat on the head or hear it bluntly because if you do it nicely, they just won't register, won't take it, they won't register. Some people, they need to be hit on the head by 2x4, right? Because that's the only way they listen.
That they listen.
Sometimes
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's why so many mediums are different. Some of them are so blunt and direct because they are needed to be that way for certain people.
I get that.
Every
Okay.
medium has their flavor, and
Right.
we get drawn to whoever we're meant to connect with,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
you know?
Beautiful. Really beautiful.
Yeah.
What would you recommend maybe to someone who's curious, or even open to starting to explore their own gifts? What might be for someone who's not local to you? I know things can be done virtually, so whether they do decide to reach out to you, but what do you recommend for someone like super brand new, has a little curiosity, where they might start?
Okay. So one option, if they're open to it and are able to, would be whether it's in-person or online development classes from a
Hmm.
from a mentor or medium that they've done some research on. So always do your research. and work with people you feel drawn to. You can go to a psychic fair and there can be three mediums. Two of them could have been doing it for 30 years, and there could be a newbie that's been doing it for 2 years. But if you have an overwhelmingly strong pull to go and sit with the medium that's only been doing it 2 years, there's a reason for it. It means you two are meant to exchange energy. Even though that medium's not the best of the three, that medium may have that one piece of information that you need there and then, and only that medium has it. So you've got to trust your gut. You've got to work with who you feel comfortable working with. You. They got to resonate with you. You can have a dynamite medium, but just not resonate with their energy.
Sure, sure.
So if you can do classes, that's one option. If you can't, meditation, for me, hands down, is the most valuable tool in learning how to connect with spirit. And you're even the internet has millions of them. You can even get ones that are specifically tailored, guided meditations for connecting with your gatekeeper, connecting with guides. You get guided ones for any little thing you want to work on. How to connect with my own aura. They're so specific, some of them. So you can Google meditations depending on what you want to do or connect with, what you want to learn about. Do you want to learn how to connect with your guide first, which is probably the best idea. Learn to connect with your own guide first, get familiar with him or her, establish like a key code or a symbol so that you know who you're working with. It does take time. Results will vary, but meditation, hands down, is extremely valuable. Yeah, meditation and classes. Oh, and if you feel comfortable enough, and you've dabbled a little bit with it, get a couple of like-minded friends together, like your little circles you do,
Yeah.
and practice off each other. Use each other as guinea pigs.
Oh, cool. I like that idea too.
So all you have to do is be open. If someone's open to being read, that's all it's needed. Don't try and read someone that either does not want to be read, or hasn't given you permission, or just is not comfortable, or not sure they believe it. You will get resistance from their energy. So get some like minds that are open to it, and practice reading basic little things of each other's energy. Just say, spirit guides, what do I pick up from my friend across from me? What do you have to share? And it can be something as simple as an apple or a little image. It's a start. And then you get into interpretation. These things take time. It's like going through elementary and high school. It takes a while. And some develop faster than others, no right or wrong. Your soul knows what it wants when it wants. So practice, practice, practice. There's no easy, safe way of doing it. You just got to trust and practice. So if someone's interested, that, and also reading some phenomenally good books. There's some amazing books out there from, have you heard of Eckhart Tolle, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Neil Donald Walsh? Conversations with God is probably one of my top favorites.
Oh, I haven't read that one, but I've read Wayne Dyer and Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't done that one. Okay.
Thank you. Actually, on my website, I have a tab called My Book and other interesting reads, and it lists my top favorite books that I've read that were the most helpful, most interesting, most enjoyable. And I learned a ton from those books, and I also got a lot more questions from reading those books. Super, super helpful. There's some amazing, amazing books.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I like to have a book in my hand, the old hard copy, and reading it. And I read books I read quite a lot in the first few years, especially, and I loved it. It helped me tremendously. You can read, and there's books on everything: angels, other mediums. There's personal story, ego, consciousness. It's just, there's loads of information out there, loads and loads.
Incredible. And yes, great suggestions, all of that. And even hearing you say about reading books and it brings more questions, I do believe that sometimes the question is more important than the answer. It's less about what answer you're seeking and more about the questions that you ask. And when you open up to voicing questions out there, you might not get the answer you want, or you might not get it right away, but trusting it will reveal itself in time.
Yep. I just thought of one more. Have you heard of Abraham Hicks?
Yes, I have. Yes.
So they're all over YouTube. There's a lot of Wayne Dyer's also. There's videos. If you don't like reading books, watch the videos. It's phenomenal.
Lots of talks, even short clips from Abraham.
and
Yeah.
they're a little short. They won't stretch your strain your attention span. There's some amazing short little clips, and they're just super helpful.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you for all of these suggestions, your wisdom, your story. Are you open to pulling an oracle card?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So yes, we had talked about using one of my animal decks. This is a
Okay,
favorite, so we can go ahead. This is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck. So
okay,
I will shuffle, and then if there's a point where you want me to stop, or if one falls out, that will kind of be the card for us and the collective today. If there's something
okay,
specific you even want to open up our guidance to, we will see what we
okay,
get.
okay. If one hasn't fallen out,
Not
um,
yet. Whoops. There's
see if there's one that you're drawn to with yeah, the middle finger. If your middle finger's drawn to anyone that wants to touch
okay.
or grab that
Yeah.
one.
Middle finger on this hand. So we have the black egg.
Oh,
Ah.
interesting.
Yeah, so even before I read from the booklet, does anything come up for you?
It
This
reminds
is
me of the seed of life. Have you heard of the circle of life? It's like a symmetrical geometric pattern. So it's like sacred geometry. So the egg of
okay.
life is kind of like the egg of
Hmm.
life or the seed of life. Everything go. So to give an example, if you look at
Yeah.
the spiraling of a seashell, or if you cut a carrot in half, the shape of the carrot is similar to the eye of a human being.
Mm.
Cutting open a tree trunk,
A
all these
tree.
geometric shapes
Yes.
relate to. It's like the building blocks of the physical and the non-physical. Uh, Yeah, the seed of life, the flower of life is basically the energetic, intangible, invisible blueprint of all of life. So kind of like the energy design of life. And it's
Yes.
like a continuing loop spiral that just goes on and on and on. And the seed of life, you get this tree of life, the circle of life, the seed of life. It reminds me of sacred geometry. That's what's coming up for me when you showed
Cool.
me that egg. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I mean even just the intricate details
yeah.
of the egg. Yeah.
And the fact that it's called black egg, which is like
Mm-hmm.
the void. It's before there's visible form or shape.
Yeah.
It's just blackness, like there's no physical vision.
Mm-hmm. The void.
And the egg is like everything the egg bears life. The egg, life comes from the egg, like certain animals are born from eggs. It's kind of like a symbol of life as well,
Yeah. Yeah,
whether it's
because in the
animal or
void,
energy or anything else.
yes. Yeah, in the void is everything and nothing. It's
Yeah,
all of the light and all of the dark.
yeah. So thing and no thing. There's a void,
Yeah.
it's kind of like form to formlessness. It keeps going back and
Mm-hmm.
forth. We have
Mm-hmm.
form, and then that disintegrates, go back to nothingness. It's like the other side. There's no here and there or physical location. There's no time. It's consciousness. It's not like a physical environment. There's no physical thing there. It's just awareness.
Awareness. Awareness.
So
It's big too.
it's like we're living in a matrix. You can build your own planet or build your own version and experience it as if you're like a digital character in a video game, but eventually that changes. It's not the whole thing. It's just a tiny little idea or segment or experience. Because life's not really about physical. Like they say, the physical world's more like the illusion. When
The illusion.
you go back to pure consciousness, and then from there you just build whatever you want.
Whatever you want. It's real if you make it real. Real when you believe it.
It's kind of like you and I, we all have our own reality. We're experiencing life uniquely and differently. It's not the same, because we get to design and experience. I mean, from our soul perspective, the soul can pick what it wants to experience, being a female, being a male, being Caucasian, being in this country, being in that country, being on this planet, being in that dimension. It's infinite. You can do
Mm.
whatever you want.
It's infinite. Yes, I think this is the infinite. And even so, my logo or this podcast is called You Amaze Me, and my logo has the spiral right next to it. So you amaze me, period, and then the spiral, which is really representative of that ongoingness of life, of also things we repeat, but in new ways. We're always growing if we want to grow and evolve, and
Yeah.
how that exists in our physical nature of, like you said, cutting open a carrot or our fingerprints, right? Our fingerprints.
Yeah, fingerprints, yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, really, really
And
cool.
and there's no
Mm,
time either, right? There's no beginning, there's no end. Time is a man-made thing for this planet, so we can kind of just keep
yes.
track of things. But on the other side, there's no beginning, there's no end, there's no time. It's just change. And it's just energy changing. Becoming form, becoming formless, back and forth, back and forth. It's it's more complicated than that. I only have a
Yes, it's
basic
kind of
idea, but
absurd and comical too.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so this is considered, so the deck is broken down into the elements of earth, fire, water, air, and spirit. So how fitting. This is from the spirit portion of the of the way that the animals, or the way the book is broken up. And because we were talking about the sun and the light of million suns, I was drawn to that card. I was like, oh, maybe we're going to get that card, which is the golden egg, but we got the black egg. So we didn't get the golden egg, which was about the sun, but we got the black egg. So I think there's something then to be said here about the dark and the light. So, and just, yeah, bringing that into conversation. And then there was something else. It might come back to me. Oh, that each one in the spirit section is connected to a chakra. So I don't remember offhand which one the black egg is, but I'm curious when we get there. Which one? Okay, so the black egg is connected to the throat chakra, is the speaking from an authentic voice, the truth.
Okay.
So it says the black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, no excuses, no small talk, no lies, not even white lies. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or even public speaking. Sounds draw us in. Books draw us in. The two things that you mentioned, right? The importance of sound, reading books.
Yeah.
The concept of truth draws us in. We start asking good questions, like, what do I know to be true about myself? What is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things for others, what we believe others want to hear, or we gossip or repeat stories. We justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at any point in every situation. It is the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of your voice. Now look at that picture.
Oh, spiral. Yeah.
Yes, just
Like
like
the
the
tree.
tree. It
Yep.
looks
The tree.
just
Yeah.
like the tree.
Yep.
Mm,
Oh,
how beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. Great. Well, any final thoughts or questions? You're also welcome to share how people might find you, reach you, your website. I'll also have that though in the caption. But yeah, anything else that you want to speak to before we wrap up?
Um, yeah, so if anybody wants to reach me, my Facebook page is called Andrew Spirit Dash Medium Blessings with a space on either side of the dash. Um, I'm also on Instagram. I'm just not sure if it's Medium Blessings or Andrew Spirit Medium Blessings. I have a website which is mediumblessings.weebly.com. If you leave out the Weebly, it should redirect you anyway.
Oh, okay.
And on my website, it has a bit more about where I came from, what I do, some of my classes. It's also got a link to my book, which is available online as well on a few different platforms. It's on Amazon, Balboa Press. The book's called Simply Spirit. The book is about how my consciousness evolved from the earlier years It was written over about a 6 year span, and it wasn't something I planned to do. I used to journal a lot, and I just compiled all this information over a 6 year span. Part of it is my personal consciousness, how it evolved. Some of it's channeled material, and at the back there's a Q&A section. It's about 30 questions that I used to practice channeling to Source, aka God, the divine, whatever you call her, and I would just record the answers that I was downloading. So it's a book you can start at the back, the middle, the beginning. Each chapter is unique unto itself. It's not a huge long read. It's quite an easy read. It's fairly simple language. So if that interests you, you're welcome to get a copy online. Uh, I was doing lives on Facebook every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I ran into some Facebook trouble and my
Hmm.
original account was permanently deactivated, so I had to start all over again.
Oh,
And I'm in a
okay.
bit of Facebook jail until March 10th.
Ah,
So I've been doing lives, so it's every second Thursday, correction, every second Thursday. I've been doing them on a YouTube channel for now, but after March 10, I
awesome.
hope to be back on Facebook, where I basically just people tune in and watch, and they post comments and questions, and I'm
Hmm.
randomly guided to a few of them, and I deliver very short mini readings or messages. I love doing that because it's the most challenging way to read. I don't get to hear their voice. I don't see
Ah,
their face. I see
yeah,
a little icon, so it's really difficult. And I've got like anywhere between 20 or 40 or 50 people. All that energy is coming at me, but I do it because I enjoy it and it stretches me. It really keeps me in shape.
great practice.
I need to practice, right? I need to stay in shape.
Yes,
So
yes.
I do that, and it's very enjoyable. And sometimes one message will resonate with a handful of people that are watching.
Hmm.
So that's why I like to do it. So yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, have my website. Not sure what else is I could share. My classes, I do offer classes and mentoring online as well via Zoom. So if anybody does want to do online classes, and I do have clients obviously that are live far away from me or are in
Hmm.
the States, somewhere else, I can do everything online. I can even do intuitive Reiki online. I do distant healing, I call it. So I can channel the energy,
Okay.
get on a quick phone call. You get comfortable in your own space, the comfort of your own home or wherever it is. I channel the energy and then we talk on the phone afterwards for feedback. Energy has no physical barriers, so I can do what I do online or in person.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for all of that and for sharing your gifts with us and encouraging others to connect with their gifts to be authentic, show themselves, do what they love. And yeah, anyone's welcome to comment, ask questions, reach out and follow us. Just like, subscribe, and yeah, thanks everyone for listening and for being here. Thank you, Andrew. And yeah, until next time. So yeah,
Thanks so
thank
much,
you.
Amanda, for having me on the podcast. It's really fun. I enjoy these. I appreciate it very much. Nice to connect
Yes.
with you.
Yes, same here. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed our reading. I enjoyed the card, the conversation. So, such a pleasure. All right. Well, yep. Thank you, everybody, for showing up for yourselves. And you amaze me. We love you.
Bye, everybody.